I'm here in Amsterdam traveling all by myself, and today I'm going to be testing ways to start conversations with strangers. This city is known for its cold weather and also kind of cold people. So I'm going to be testing 5 different openers to see what works, what doesn't, and hopefully how you guys can use it too. Whether you're traveling solo or just feel disconnected, I hope this video is just going to give you some ideas on how to break the ice and start conversations with people. So let's see how it goes. This was the first opening I tried. I was sitting in a cafe, and next to me there was this girl that looked pretty local, and she had like a big headphones on her head. And I was like, okay, should I like bump her? Because she wasn't making any eye contact with me, so I didn't have anything to work with. So I was like touching her hand a little bit, very softly, and she turned around and I was like, hey, do you maybe know any place to check out here, like traveling? And she was like,
on Payday, there's a nice market over there. This is like treat and sell personally. But if we just follow,
and she gave me the place, and then we started talking, and it was such a smooth transition for me to ask her, like, do you live here? Have you grown up here? Or anything like that. And this conversation was like 2 hours. So I feel like this was so unique and cool. I didn't feel the time going by. And this opening for travel, I feel like is really, really good because it's so easy to just continue the conversation. Even if the person doesn't know what to recommend, you're like, oh, you're traveling here too. Oh, awesome. What day? Like, when did you get here? Or when are you leaving? Like, how long? What places have you checked out? Even if they're not local, it's still a good opening for that. And now let's go try the second opening. Okay, so this was the second opener conversation that I did. And basically here, it was more of a situational one. So I saw a guy sitting on a bench looking at a really pretty view. And I stood there for like a second. I was wondering, should I not? I was actually really scared of doing this. And then I just decided, like, let me just go for it. It's beautiful, isn't it? The view here. So pretty.
It's way good.
So are you from here?
No. That's from Ireland originally. I'm just here on a vacation and then went to America.
That's cool.
Which is
Also visiting, first time. It's gorgeous, like feeling you're inside a painting, I approached that guy and I was like, really pretty view. We were starting to talk about Amsterdam and the city. Is it your first time here? Just trying to like get to know him a little bit in a not very creepy way, more of a situational way. I feel like this one works really well because you can just about use it wherever. It's like, you're standing in line, it's like, oh my God, this line is so long. I should actually try that one. I think the biggest thing for me was the fact that the guy was sitting by himself and then he has like headphones on. It made everything a lot easier for me to do because you could just come up and sit there like next to him on the bench and just start talking. And I feel like something that I'm starting to learn more is how do you continue the conversation after the opener. But this one was a strong one. Let's move on to the next one. So I just failed at the third opener I was trying to use, and I wasn't planning on sharing this, to be honest, but I think it's actually very useful for you guys to maybe learn from. So basically, the opera was a little bit rude, but I was sitting in the restaurant meeting and there was 2 different tables that were talking to each other. They're like people that just met. And I basically kind of barged into their conversation, which I know it's a little rude, but the only reason that it didn't work was because they reacted to what I said, and they were actually very nice about it. But it didn't work mainly because I didn't know how to continue into it, because they were already in the middle of something, so it was very hard to just jump in. Definitely that's something to be mindful of when you're trying to do that, but I'm not sure I would recommend this anyways. So let's move on to the next one. Do you guys want a picture together?
sure.
Yeah, I came to say that I love your shirt or jacket.
Thank you.
Where is it from?
Milan.
Milan? It's gorgeous. Looks like it was from Milan. Beautiful. Okay, there you. Thank you so much. So I just did the 4th way for 2 people, and I was asking for a photo. So far, I think this was mentally the easiest one. I think it's probably because I've also done TLDs today, but also I feel like it's just socially acceptable to just ask people for it. But it was very hard to continue a conversation afterwards. Now, I don't know if it's because the woman just didn't speak the language, but I also think that the minute people hand you back the phone, they immediately leave. So it was a good way to just have like a social interaction, but it wasn't a good way to lead to a conversation, if that makes sense. Basically, I did another trial right now, and I went on one of these boats where you kind of sit with like random people, and I was like, maybe that would be like a good way to like get to know more people. But it actually turned out to not work out at all, because I was sitting next to two couples and they're both like facing each other. So overall, it was kind of awkward, I would say, to start any sort of conversation. So that did not turn out like I thought it would. So yeah, I'm not gonna factor that in. And instead, I'm gonna move on and try doing the last thing that I haven't done yet, which is complimenting people. When you compliment people, and it's honestly my favorite way of just connecting with people, when you do that, you instantly make them feel seen. And you change the subject to be about them. So the way I did it today was when I was sitting in a restaurant, there was a woman next to me. She had like a really nice hair thingy, like a hair, I'm not sure how to call it, but like a hair scarf or something. And I just immediately complimented her about it. And she was like, yeah, I just thrifted it. And we had this awesome conversation that led to us having dinner together and even like splitting the bill and like ordering everything together. And it was such a unique experience. She was such a unique person to meet. But it's only because I gave a compliment that I actually stood behind and actually believed in. Because otherwise you're going to connect with people that you don't have anything to share with or anything in common with. And then the conversation dies very quickly. So please comment here if this was even a little bit relevant, if there's one way that you can take and just implement yourself. Because the biggest thing is just putting yourself out there. I think you noticed how from the beginning of the day, when I was super awkward about like trying each conversation, I was very much in my head, to now where she was sitting next to me and I just immediately talked to her. Like, you see how much this is a muscle that you can work in one day. So don't lock yourself out. One thing that I've noticed today was that the thing that stopped me the most was actually me. And that once you kind of start that opening, like you just say the first sentence, the first question, the first interaction, in a lot of cases, people will want to talk to you back. And they are going to be very engaged in the conversation and they would have loved to do this. So it's just you stopping yourself from doing it. And if you want me to do this in different cities and or different ways, feel free to comment ideas. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it.